Whether you have the key bound to Tab, E, or whatever you wish, the inventory is one part of games that we don't think about. Minecraft's square slots with complete player control, Skyrim's messy inventory, and everything in between, these design choices which are rarely ever thought about make a big difference in gameplay. In an RPG, like Fallout or Skyrim, inventories can be hit or miss. They usually take the form of a menu with lists, which can be difficult to navigate. There are also usually several tabs which, while organizational, can feel like a lifetime to sort through mid-combat. Then there's the fact that, normally, you can't even order your belongings. Some games have made inventory systems that can be considered good, but I'll let you in on a secret. Minecraft perfected it. Let's rank inventories by 3 extremely important qualifications: ease of use, organization, and game integration. Let's talk ease of use, possibly the most important part of an inventory system. When it comes to ease of use, game inventories vary widely, from the original Mass Effect with its cumbersome system where you have to constantly shuffle gear between your companions and turn unwanted things into Omnigel while balancing your score and leveling up your companions through a bunch of hidden tabs and keybinds, to the simplicity of a game like 7 Days to Die. Minecraft sets the stage for a new way of thinking about the inventory, or rather, an old way. Games like Terraria have a similar inventory system to Minecraft, but Minecraft wins big in one respect. It's literally big. The inventory in Minecraft shamelessly envelops your entire screen, giving you plenty of space to distinguish across the different items in your inventory. Every item also follows its own rules and has unique icons that are easy to tell apart. The rules of the items are simple. Once a stack fills up, add a clean number such as 64, which, by the way, is extremely divisible for added cleanliness. 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, 1. When the stack is complete, a new stack begins. Simple as that. Tooltips in Minecraft are nice, but not even needed in a Minecraft-style inventory. You know exactly what you're looking at before your mouse gets close. Games like 7 Days to Die have a similar UI, which have become standard for most survival games, and even No Man's Sky reproduces this style in its own way, with the added benefit of being able to repair and refuel items by simply clicking on them in the inventory, whereas Minecraft uses an anvil for this. But that's not where the ease of use ends. The inventory in Minecraft takes the next step. Everything is there. In survival mode, rather than a crafting tab, an armor tab, and whatever else, the inventory is a whole unit. You can quickly open it and perform a variety of actions without ever having to peer through a menu. This simplicity gives rise to an inherent gameplay element in the game. When a player opens their inventory in single player, the game doesn't pause. You have to judge the time you have to get things done and then rush to make those torches before the creeper gets you. It seamlessly becomes a part of the game that requires skill and memory without feeling unpolished or rushed. The best system is the one you don't notice. That's ignoring the fact that in Minecraft, the inventory is also extremely standard. All of the squares are the same size and simply scattered around the screen in a way that makes sense. It's extremely intuitive to the look. Let's talk organization. While there are mods like Inventory, Tweak, and Applied Energistics that attempt to make this better, Minecraft on its own has one of the best organization systems in the game industry. And no, it's not because it's robust and complicated, it's because it's so darn simple. I know, if you're like me, your inventory is probably constantly a mess. But it's your mess. You choose exactly where everything goes, which goes hand in hand with the crafting system where patterns matter. Not only this, but there is a seamless transition into throwing out your items, moving them into a chest, shift-click is an absolute lifesaver, and various other nifty tricks that were added simply to make life easier. Shift-click armor, well, it goes right on. These additions may seem lackluster, but each had to be programmed in on their own for the exact purpose they serve. The chest system works beautifully well with Minecraft. There are no arbitrary limitations to it. No chest has a specific item it can hold, and you can choose to throw everything you own in a mess, or to clean up and sort into multiple chests. The game simply doesn't care. With additions such as shulker boxes and ender chests, it's also easy to stay organized on the fly. While throwing lava in your pocket doesn't seem exactly realistic, it doesn't make sense to make things realistic in Minecraft's world. I mean, things like Skyrim, where your character holds a ton of items and then you become slow, is really just a hindrance to the player and doesn't really add any gameplay attributes. I feel like sometimes it's better to just ignore how unrealistic something can be, or go the Mass Effect route and make it so that if your inventory is over full, you can get rid of the excess and turn it into something useful, rather than having to chuck an entire town's worth of loot on the ground. Which, by the way, if you chuck things on the ground in Minecraft, they despawn after a pretty meager amount of time, so you have plenty of time to go get your stuff back after death, which is another, while not completely inventory-based thing, it's a nice addition. And now let's talk about game integration, which is probably the most important thing. If you throw an inventory system into a game, it has to actually play well in the game. It has to integrate in a way where you're actually going to use it and you're not going to notice it. So here's a example situation. You're in a PvP match, someone hits Q and throws you some armor. The armor appears in your hotbar, and with a simple right click, you equip it while running away, and once you're clear, you quickly craft some supplies. Think about several games you own and how many different menus, how many different machines, how many different periods of time it would take to finish all of those steps in one go. In Minecraft, you really just have to hit E a few times, unless you switched the keybind, and there you go. You're done. This isn't even really embellished. It's just something any Minecraft player has experienced. Even outside of multiplayer, the inventory fits the game so seamlessly, it's almost never considered. From mining to item drop to picking it up, the process is intuitive enough to be understood by all. Even the default inventory key, E, is close to where your hands sit on the keyboard, whereas some games use keys like I or O, which just make no sense and require you to let go of the mouse, hit the button, or shift your hand off of the movement keys. I mean, key placement makes a big difference, and I know you can change the keys you're using, but first impressions in a game are important, and if you're playing a game and the keys are scattered across the keyboard in a way that makes no sense, it's not a good look. Finally, Minecraft's inventory system is highly expandable, even when we look at not even just mods, but the ways the game has progressed on its own. Look at newer game additions such as dual wielding. In most games, this would be a massive undertaking to add, but in Minecraft, simply add another key that's close to the movement keys, F, and use the already set inventory system. Look at small things such as how a clock or a compass updates in your inventory. Many games don't have functionality for this. They just use an icon or a sprite which you move around. Anyways, no other game has inventory integration quite like Minecraft. There's a reason that craft is the second word in the game. Actually, if you want to hear about crafting, that's another topic that, honestly, Minecraft did much better in regards to creativity than its inventory system, so if you want to hear a little bit about that in the future, go ahead and give me a shout. But you have to admit that for such a simple little part of most games, something that we don't think about, it can be extremely frustrating to work with. And a game like Minecraft, although so simple, has an extremely robust inventory system, which honestly is the gold standard. Other games have caught on. New games like No Man's Sky, 7 Days to Die have very eerily similar looking systems. But what's going to be interesting is to see what the next standard is, because just like the lists going on to grids and now we have grids, what's going to be next? Who knows? The game industry is strange right now, so maybe it'll all be a bunch of loot boxes that randomly fill your inventory if you pay for extra DLC that then triggers in-app purchases. That seems like the direction it'll go in. But I'll see you all next time. Thank you for watching, leave a like and subscribe, and if you want to overanalyze other parts of games, let's do it. Let me know in the comments, maybe some suggestions.